Hi there, Michael from Break a Pencil here. So I've got a handful of capstone intake forms for the MBA course that I'm going to be teaching here in a few weeks over the summer. I need to get these into a structured table, and I need anonymized summaries that I can send to the students so they can rank the projects they want to work on 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do the whole thing in Claude Cowork, which I've done a little bit of work with, but not a ton, and I don't think I've actually ever demoed it for you all. I'm not worried about the mechanics. Cowork can handle this. It's not going to be difficult. If you've ever had a pile of messy intake documents you needed to turn into something clean and shareable, pay attention. This is for you. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the folder where these are. So they are right here in project intake forms, and there's 4 of them, PDF and Word docs. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to allow Claude to change files in there so it can write new files in there if needed. Perfect. Okay, let's start with the prompt. I'm teaching an MBA course, a capstone course this summer, and a big part of the course is a consulting project, a real-world consulting project. In the folder you have access to are 4 intake forms from 4 different companies, defining or describing 4 different projects. I need to do a couple of things. First, I need to put all the data into one structured table. These are all in individual forms, so let's bring it all together into one table so I can work with it all in one place. The second thing I need to do is I ultimately need to create a document that's like a menu of the 4 different projects that I can send to students so they can read it and rank which one they want to do first, second, and third. But I need the information that I send to the students to be anonymized. I don't want the company names included. I don't want the companies to be identifiable by overly detailed descriptions. Additionally, I will need an email drafted that I can send to students along with this menu so they know what the options are and can rank them. And finally, I want to put these projects in as good a possible light for these students as possible. I want them to get excited about them. Obviously, I don't want to make things up, but let's keep them interesting and maybe consider not just the project details, but let's also consider talking about the skills or the experience that students will gain if they select each individual project. Okay, let's see what it does. A few things here, right? So I wanted the structured table. I want this anonymized menu, if you will. That last bit was something I thought of as I was kind of getting ready to do this with Cowork and record it. Is this idea that let's not just sort of say, here's the project, but let's maybe even say like, and what does it mean to me, right? If I'm a student, I really want to focus on, I don't know, my marketing skills, or maybe I really want to focus on finance, right? So which of these do that? Okay, how much identifying context should be anonymized? Should the anonymized student menu keep? I think we can just do light masking. What format for the 2 deliverables? Master table and student menu. Let's go in Excel and Word. How should students submit? Let's just have them reply to the email. Okay, so good. We got a few things that want some clarification on. One flag before I build. You chose light masking, but that's its intention with the original Ask to Geek company is not identifiable. 2 cases are tricky. The campus store is Seattle University's own store. Students will instantly know it. And several forms name proprietary brands. Okay, and exact revenue. I'll go with light masking as you chose, but I'll strip company names, contacts, the most obvious brand names, and exact dollar figures. Easy to loosen. Okay, good. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, so it's making a judgment call here about anonymization, which is fine. I think that's reasonable. Now, if I weren't using Cowork for this, there'd be a few steps, right? I'd have to I did think when I sent this out to all the companies that I was talking with, I did think about like setting up like a Google form so that when they respond, it all comes back and it's automatically structured. But I thought that was a little distant. It was a little, it lacked kind of that personal touch. So that's why I gave them a Word doc to go ahead and fill out. But then I didn't want to have to waste the time or spend my time kind of putting it all together. So that's why I'm going to ask Cowork to do that. So that's definitely going to save me some time, assuming it does it fine. Then the idea of anonymization and creating that menu, really what I'm also interested in, not just is the fact that it's going to do that work, but there's an element of normalization I'm looking for, right? I want these projects to all sort of, I don't want one that was written better from the client to be unfavorable, to be unfairly advantaged, right? I'd like them all to kind of feel the same in terms of here's all the different options you have so they understand them and then they can choose. Notice Claude Cowork immediately sort of starts with, here's the steps I'm going to take. I'm going to build a master data table. It's done. I'm going to write anonymized student project menu. It's done. It's now currently drafting the student email, and then it's going to verify anonymization and accuracy. It's going to come back and check its work before it says I'm done and you can review it. It shows here the documents it's looking at. and any skills it's brought in to be able to do this work. Okay, anonymization is clean. It's confirming the Excel table reads back correctly. Beautiful. Okay, well, let's take a look here. All 3 deliverables are in your folder. That was why I gave it write access. Good, a master table, all 4 projects in 1 row per project sheet, with 17 columns covering the full unanonymized detail, student menu, and the email draft as markdown. 2 things worth your judgment. The Canvas Store project is the one anonymization can't fully protect. I think that's okay, though. I'm not too worried about that. I chose light masking, but I actually erred slightly tighter than that, stripping brand names. Okay, good. So it made a judgment call, and I like that because those are the strongest tells. All right, so let's just take a look. I'm just going to go into the folder. And if you notice, there's 3 new files here. So let's first take a look at the menu. This is the one I'm most interested in. Below are the 4 real-world consulting projects available this term. Excellent. Okay, charting a growth play in industrial automation. Privately held B2B value-added distributor, 35 employees, multi-branch, Pacific Northwest. The challenge. Okay, this is great. I like this. What you'll gain. Okay, perfect. This is the, what's in it for me. Hands-on market sizing, go-to-market and sales structure, practice translating company financials into strategic board-ready options. I love this. Access and logistics, unusually generous, full access to financials, customer and product data, and multiple internal experts. The sponsor is an MBA capstone alum who knows exactly how valuable this work can be. Beautiful. So I didn't even ask it to indicate some of that stuff, but I like this. This is really quite good. Should we build the next location? A healthcare expansion and exit analysis. Okay, great. Well, let's go. What you'll gain: site and market evaluation for a real expansion decision, real estate startup cost and valuation modeling. All right, best fit for students eyeing finance, valuation, healthcare, or entrepreneurship and exits. I love it. Fabulous. Designing a better customer journey for a specialty retailer. Customer experience and journey mapping skills you can show in a portfolio, real qualitative research, service design and prioritization frameworks, best fit for students interested in marketing, customer experience, or general management. I love this as well. And then this last one, this is the student store. And this is great. What is the, you'll gain customer segmentation, pricing analysis. So what I love is that these are all different, but that's really coming through. So I think this is great. Tell me how to rank them. All right, good. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. Good. It's got org, website, industry, company size, primary contact. Okay, so it's got everything in there and a row for each. Perfect. Okay, good. So if I need to do anything now, it's all structured. Perfect. I love it. Okay, and then last but not least, let's look at the student email draft. Hi, everyone. The consulting projects. The attached menu describes a few things to know. Okay, so I think I'm done. I'm going to look at this a little bit more closely, this email. I'll read those descriptions in the menu a little bit more closely. But I imagine I'm not going to make very many changes, if at all. And I am ready in a few minutes. I now have structured data. I now have the menu ready to go. I now have the email ready to go. And that's perfect. I'm going to just come back to what I was saying before, which is if you've got messy data, throw it all at Claude Cowork and let it work through it. Let it take a time, let it go through them. And even if you're not sure what to do with that or how to clean it up, I had a general idea, which I provided. I had a clear deliverable with my menu. But even if you're not perfectly sure, throw it at Claude Cowork and ask it to come up with some ways that you might be able to structure, organize, and make that data useful in ways going forward. As always, I do these videos every other week. Subscribe down below if you want to get notified. And as always, break a pencil.